Let's talk about Paul Pogba. After 6 long years, it seems like the Paul Pogba saga has come to an end. And it's ironic that the player who was dubbed as the solution to the problem that is Manchester United, all that summer 2016, man, where has the time gone? Has come in and been what we thought he would fix, a problem. United, all in all, have lost the fee, paid for Pogba, 89 million. And we've lost him on a free as well, again, for the second time. We've spent an untold amount of money on wages. For the last 3 years, he's only been available about 50% of the games. And no matter what you think about Paul Pogba and his ability, and I will never change my opinion that in terms of ability, Paul Pogba could have and perhaps should have done anything he wanted in the game. He had it all. He had the physical ability, he had the vision, he had the technical ability. It's undeniable that the 233 appearances he will leave Manchester United with have been stained with controversy, melodrama, and, on the whole, underperformance. There's one game remaining of the season this weekend, and Pogba won't play in it. Pogba's season for United is over, and with the last image of him being trudging off the pitch after 10 minutes at Anfield, a microcosm for his career of disappointment, of unfulfilled dreams, of promises, and there's a bit of circus. It's been a largely forgettable 6 years with him at United. It's been a largely forgettable era. And I think Paul Pogba and the situation we found ourselves in with Paul Pogba potentially sums up the Ed Woodward era at Manchester United. There is a rumour Ed Woodward sanctioned the transfer of Paul Pogba to try and wrestle some power from Alex Ferguson inside the Manchester United board. If Paul Pogba would have been a success, Woodward, at least to the board, looks great. He's a commercial success. He's an on-the-field success. Partners love him. Sponsors love him. And it gives Woodward some footballing power because, as it should be, Ed Woodward has no power in any conversation with Sir Alex Ferguson and shouldn't have any conversation with Sir Alex Ferguson involving anything, really. But Woodward gets the opportunity to say, your mistake, as in Sir Alex's mistake in allowing Pogba to leave on a free, cost this club £89 million. It's not something I agree with, but it's what the rumour is. Now, obviously, Ed Woodward has moved on. And if we had to sum up the Ed Woodward era, it was, we do things in the market others can only dream of. Yeah, we waste £89 million on a player, and then we had to waste more money on other players trying to get the best out of that player. We paid that player a fortune. For the last 3 seasons, only played 50% of the games. He had more memorable Instagram moments than he did on the pitch, and then we lost him on a free. I think that about sums up the Pogba era and the Woodward era. Now, Pogba apologists, of which there are loads, will say United failed to match his ambitions. But at the same time, Pogba failed to match ours. And he didn't repay the club's faith in the world record fee that they've shown him. There's been zero return on investment in terms of wages and transfer value. And I thought Jamie Carragher, for once, actually made an extremely good point. Playing with Steven Gerrard, for wherever you rate Steven Gerrard, and obviously Jamie Carragher rates him about as high as it's possible to rate someone. He said no one ever said Steven Gerrard is excused with shit performances and shit attitude because the players that he's playing with aren't good enough. In his eyes, Steven Gerrard performed fantastic every single week. Now, an example closer to home might be Robo. Robo had basically retired before United managed to get over the line with the title. And he'd become a bit part player in the team by that point. But throughout the 80s, when Robo was one of the best players on the planet, no one was saying Robo should go to Milan when it was rumoured he was going to Milan or some of the other clubs that had come into him. He played for Manchester United. And he played out of his skin every single week for Manchester United, and his commitment to the cause was undeniable. And we've seen other players come in and be good in poor eras. And this excuse is a very Pogba excuse, and I don't know why it's allowed to be an excuse. I'm not saying anyone giving this excuse for Ronaldo currently. He's doing his job in a bad team. It is a bad team, but he's doing his job, and he's digging it out. These excuses are frustrating. Pogba Stats, 233 games. He had about 90 goal involvements, and unlike Matt Letizia, I'm not going to get too stuck into the goal involvements of Pogba. They're not good reading when it stacks up against Bruno, but I don't judge midfielders on assists and goals. 39 goals, 51 assists. Not horrendous by any stretch of the imagination. It's not bad. But, you know, it was more expected. There was more expected from that, and there was more expected within those performances. And like I said, I wouldn't be looking at goals and assists to rate Paul Pogba. I think we all know there was so many games where he frustrated rather than take up the game by the scruff of the neck. He did do it. He did it in some decent games as well. He could be a 10 out of 10 one week and a 6 out of 10 for the next 5. And you need consistency to be great. And he'd never give us that consistency. Reports as it stands at the moment, Damasio was saying Pogba has decided he will leave United. He decided about 10 months ago, at least, by the way. Juventus are waiting for a catch-up with him, and the player has to decide whether to accept a lower offer than some of the others that are off on the table. PSG obviously going to be one of those. Alfredo Padula says Juventus are ready to offer Pogba a contract worth $8 million a year, plus $2 to $3 million in bonuses. So that's somewhere in about a quarter of a million a week. And PSG offering slightly more at around about 350 grand a week. And apparently believe he could be the one to help them finally conquer Europe. I'm sure he'll look great playing in France. I'm sure he'll look absolutely sensational. Is he going to win the Champions League, though? If Verratti and Di Maria and the other riches that exist in that midfield haven't been enough, then Pogba is not going to be enough. He might have moments and he might win a big game on his own. He's definitely got the ability to. But great players play great more than once a month. I'm sad to see Pogba go because I was there the night he signed. And I had a brief conversation with him, and it might have just been the joy at signing. I was ecstatic. I really thought Pogba could have been something here. And I told him I was buzzing that he was back. And he said, I'm buzzing to be back. And I believed it. I believed it with my entire being. Every cell in my body believed it. And I think he believed it. He was genuinely fucking happy. And I think we as a fan base were genuinely happy. And that, the announcement video with Storms, it was fucking sensational. Cultural. Like proper needle shifting shit. But he never lived up to that billing. Never lived up to it. And do you know what? If United don't make any more of those signings, but we're a better team for it, then we'll have moved on. As for Paul Pogba, what do you lot think? Does he go down as the biggest flop in the Premier League era for United? Or does someone else take that title for you? Let me know in the comments. See you in a bit. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.